Yo, 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 yo. Back. Yo, so hit that like button. Hit that like button. Oh, true. Shalom, what's up? What it is. So, Diddy not taking the stand, y'all. Diddy say he ain't taking the stand. I said a couple weeks ago that I thought he should take the stand, but I agree. I don't think he needs to take the stand. I don't think the prosecution put their case. Not when you know the jury instructions, yo. Like I told y'all, in jury instructions, you can cherry pick testimony, or if you caught a person in a lie, you can choose to disregard everything they said. And I told y'all the type of person I am. Once you lie, you are no longer credible in my book. I think a lot of people like that. You know, especially when you're talking about sentencing somebody to 30 years, and man, I wouldn't sleep comfortable knowing I came back with a guilty verdict, and I know this person told lies. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's too much time. It's too much time on the line to cherry pick testimony. Like we ain't talking about 5 years, 7 years. We talking about upwards to 30 to life. You know what I mean? We talking upwards 30 to life, yo. It's gonna be some people on that jury. Not everybody. But it's gonna be some people on that jury that's not gonna be able to sleep with that, knowing these people told lies. They all told lies. And a lot of their accounts, it's just their accounts. Like the Capricorn Clark girl. Did he kidnap me? He made me go against my will. There's nobody that can vouch for that story, man. I'm not even sure if they even asked Cassie about it. He told me he wasn't gonna let me go unless I get Cassie. The firebombing of the car. There's no proof that he did that. No proof, y'all. Case garbage. Case garbage, man. So that's why I was saying Diddy don't need to testify. I don't even think the defense need to present no case, to be honest. They supposed to have a long witness list, but they saying they gonna wrap up in 5 days because I don't think they gonna call most. They don't need to. They didn't prove so many lies in the testimony that they don't need to present no case. Then you got mainstream media and bloggers still lying, like TISA tells. I felt, yo, TISA tells not American black women, man. People that think that don't matter, it does. Now I see how she able to do the things she did. She don't have no connection to, she don't have no real connection to the culture and to the people she talking about. Like, we gotta start doing motherfucking, background checks on some of these people, man. You can't find no information on this girl. And the reason why I think she from the islands is because I heard she kind of slipped up in one of her lives. She said, man, like she from Jamaica or she from over there in them islands or some motherfucking way. Motherfuckers don't say it like she from the island. What's up, Brad? Like, she ain't say man, she said money. Now I see how she able to do what she did, but you know, that's how they always do it. You know what I mean? They always bring these people that's not from the States. You know what I mean? Not originally. You know what I mean? They might be first generation, second generation, but they not, you know what I mean, FBA. They're not foundational. They weren't here from the beginning. They always bring these people and make them the face of the community like they did with academics. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Cats not. What's the other little kid name? Little kid, little fast little kid, little streamer kid. A lot of them niggas. They don't be from here, man. What's up, Logan? So they able to say the things that they say and do the things that they do, and they don't care because it ain't affecting them people or their people one way or another. Now she's saying, well, even if they didn't prove sex trafficking, like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, yo, like, if I can't leave people keep allowing y'all, them people to do that shit. She been telling her people over there for a whole year that did these sex traffic these people. Now it's if they did, it shouldn't be no if. Not on your end. It should be no if on her end. Not the way she was pushing it. I'm saying from the beginning, Diddy ain't sex trafficking them women. My man Sean G just had somebody on his platform talking about how mainstream media misled everybody, had people thinking that Diddy did all these things, and all these celebrities was involved, it was kids involved, and we was telling people from the very beginning, yo, that is a lie. That's a fucking lie. All you had to do is read the paperwork. But mainstream media and some of these bloggers that work with mainstream media was twisting the truth. That's why so many people looking like, yo, hold up, yo, this is not what I expected. I did not think that this trial was about this. People really thought it was going to be other entertainers implicated, like, that was involved. Like, people really thought that. That was a narrative a couple months ago. Everybody was saying, yo, was Meek Mill going to testify? And I'm like, yo, what y'all talking about? Them people ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Diddy did this shit on his own with his girlfriends, and it was all consensual. Yeah, is it technically legal to motherfucking to fly sex workers from state to state? No. But is it really is it RICO? Is it worth 30 years of his life? Is it worth 5 years of his life? Yeah, man, fuck no, that shit garbage. It's gonna be some jurors that look at it that way. Realest one, what it is? What's up, Rob? Clemson. Man, you know we gotta keep that shit real, yo. Somebody gotta do it. It been lies, yo, the whole time. The whole time. And some people, like I said, some people told so many lies that they stuck. They stuck between a rock and a hard place because they see the case fell apart. Everybody lied, man. Everybody committed crimes. Then they keep trying to tell people, you know, Brendon Paul, his drug mule, nigga ain't no money. That nigga got caught with an ounce of cane, man. Couple bags of weed. That nigga ain't no fucking drug mule. That nigga's a fucking, that shit might have been personal use. Like, it's wordplay, yo. Words mean something, yo. Yo, people gotta pay attention to words that be used to manipulate opinions. They call that man a drug mule. He's gonna break the case. Break the case how? I say he sold Diddy drugs for personal usage. How the fuck is that gonna break the case? What else can he say? What else can he say? They trying to charge the man for being addicted to drugs, man. They were just giving people rehab for that. During the midst of the motherfucking during the midst of the opioid epidemic, they stopped sending people to jail. They started sending people to rehab. Well, they started sending white people to rehab. It was always locking up black people. So buying drugs is a federal crime. I mean, I think a large percent of America did that, even if it was weed. How many people drove state lines with weed in their pocket? You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, all this shit is minuscule. It's minor. It's bullshit. I would think if you smoke weed, you take that shit everywhere you go. If you from motherfucking Atlanta and you gotta drive to Florida, you taking some bud with you. At least personal usage. They try to charge that man as a federal crime for that shit. And they scared all these people that did all these minor crimes because they never been in trouble before, and they waived prison time over their head. That's why they gave them immunity. They scared Daphne. They found out Daphne took drugs from California to Miami. Probably lied to her about how she can get. You know, we can give you 5 years for that, 10 years for that. Meanwhile, they probably really can only give her 10 days. Girl ain't never been in trouble. Feds can't even motherfucking shit. Yeah, that girl ain't never been in trouble, man. That shit that they was doing didn't reach federal level. But since they tied it into RICO, that's why that RICO shit bogus. Because like I said, like what man was saying, that shit was designed for the mob, like real criminal organizations. But since the mob not around no more like that, or they transition, I ain't gonna say they ain't around, but they transition their operation. Now they're attacking people unjustly under these RICO statutes. Ain't nothing but a conspiracy charge. We don't need real evidence. All you just need is a whole bunch of allegations and tie it all in a knot and say, look, this is a criminal enterprise. That shit bogus. Niggas better stop vouching for this fucked up ass system that preys on black people. System fucked up. Then they give us these industry plants to watch and propel their pages. That girl industry plant, man. She know it. Ain't no history on the Google. Google where TISA was from. Google anything about her. Nothing pops up. Why? The fuck is she, CIA? Why can't nobody get no information on this girl? Like I said, the only reason I say she from the islands is because I heard her speak. And she kind of like spoke some island language. Man, they don't want me to go big. They be trying to silence me. But you see what it is though, yo. Like I mean, the cases that we just covered, you see the game. You know, you gotta compromise yourself, man. I ain't compromising nothing. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like, fuck that shit. You gotta compromise yourself, man. You gotta play a dirty game. You gotta lie for them. You gotta push narratives, push agendas. I can't do that. That's against what I stand for. That's against what I stand for, man. But yeah, people gotta start fact checking these people, man. See what the fuck they really from. What they really about. You can Google anybody else that got a following. and where they from a pop up, what schools they went to pop up, all that shit. You might can even find their parents. You Google this girl, you can't find nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. You can't even find out what school she went to, what state she from, where was she. You can't find shit. No, how no? I know, lady. What they say? What they say about Diageo? I ain't heard that. Where you see that at? Yeah, because she working for him. She pushing the same narrative as Nancy Grace. She working for him. She been working for him since the beginning. She been working for the system since the beginning, man. All you gotta do is watch her numbers. All you gotta do is watch her numbers. Like I told you, YouTube don't let you get that big in a short period of time. Because for the most part, they don't even want to pay you. You know what I mean? They don't want to share no motherfucking revenue. That shit gonna be a slow grind. You got motherfuckers that been on here for 3-4 years and they at damn near 1 million subscribers, 500,000. You gotta question that shit. You gotta question it. Canadian girl, I'd slap the shit out of you, bro. If you used to ask me that in real life. What is you talking about? What you talking about? Oh. Yeah. I'm just saying. Watch these motherfuckers, man. They moving the goalposts. She had somebody on there. Look, the funny thing about it. In fact, let me play it. Hold on. I just was watching her talk. She was interviewing a guy. And this made me even do this live for real. Because I watch them. You know, you gotta watch these people. See what the fuck going on. Gotta keep an eye on them, man.
DraftKings Casino app is the place for jackpots and across all my favorite games. Not just being was illegal. Why are they always biting me on my face? You don't need sex trafficking to has been canceled. Why would you are breaking that?
So she asked this guy.
Where do you think it's going?
His take on it.
Okay. All right. Really? Oh, okay. Okay. So here we have Remy from All Hip Hop Canada. Yeah. Remy, so far, really quick, what are your thoughts on Diddy, the trial? Where do you think it's going? This is a man's point of view, so let's see.
A man's point of view, I would say that right now, I have no idea. I just feel like prosecution still has a long way to go in terms of proving their case, but both sides have been doing a good job of going back and forth. And some days it feels like a ping pong match. Other days it kind of...
Okay, I have a question. So when you're saying the prosecution has a long way going, what do you think that they're missing? When you're saying it's a long, because they're about to rest their case, so what do you think is missing? Are you going to talk to or no? Okay.
The text messages. You know, I feel like the whole rereading text messages and reiterating the text messages kind of gets old after a while. They haven't necessarily shown any other physical evidence to prove their point.
Okay. Are you familiar with the RICO statutes?
Somewhat.
Kidnapping?
Yes.
Bribery?
Yes.
Extortion?
Yes.
You don't think with any of the witnesses? Capricorn Clark said that she was held at gunpoint in a car.
Yeah.
There's text messages which her saying that Diddy says that if you come and trade yourself in for me, then I can leave.
Yo, there is no proof she was held at gunpoint. Like, yo, that's just her account. Capricorn Clark lied several times. She lied several times. So how do you know if that's even the truth? She lied several times, yo. All on the stand. It's all documented.
That's kidnapping. Holding Cassie in the hotel while her head was healing. That is also kidnapping. Kidnapping is not just snatching someone up, it's restricting their movement. So if I don't let you leave right now, I've officially kidnapped you under the federal statute. We also have bribery with Eddie Garcia.
Yeah.
Eddie Garcia said they contacted him.
Yeah.
They gave this. They gave cash. They showed the cash payment. And on top of that, KK was involved with that. His high assistants were involved with that. They gave him bribery for $100K. They had that. Eddie Garcia testified to that. We also had bribery of the other hotel workers, or attempted bribery, okay? With RICO, you only need 2 predicate acts, and those are criminal acts. We also have extortion, Cassie's mother, the drug dealer too. Yeah.
Yo, you see what I'm saying? It's all bogus. Like, yo, everybody's just talking with no evidence. There's no evidence that any of these things happen. Or very minimal. The evidence is minimal that any of these things happen, man. Like, yo, they keep talking about he extorted Cassie's mother. Yo, no the fuck he didn't, man. Like, we explained that shit a million times, yo. Before he gave the money back for 2, he should have won his money back, to be honest. The fuck, I'd have wanted my money back too. I paid for your feature, you end up fucking an artist. Bitch, give my motherfucking money back. Anybody should want their money back in that situation. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? People gotta start applying logic in real life and stop just falling for the story. That man paid Kid Cudi $20,000 to do a feature with Cassie. Go start fucking Cassie. He finds out, I want my money back. Fuck you, man. Yeah, I need that. Feature should have been free if you was fucking. Fuck, I shouldn't even pay shit. Man, but it's bogus, real. You keep talking about it's a crime. It's bogus. Like, yo, you don't want this, you don't want that to stop being the normal. It's a crime if motherfuckers let it be a crime. The fuck? The law, legal doesn't mean right or wrong. It's a crime if motherfuckers sit back and allow it to be a crime, man. That shit is bogus. People do it all the time. Nobody gets charged for it. Bullshit. You be saying dumbass shit. Just make sure you have my money when this fucking trial over. The one thing about you, I'm telling your dumbass the whole time that it wasn't no kids and none of that shit involved. Now you saying it and you still disagreeing. Like, oh, you just want them disagree ass niggas. Who been telling the truth the whole time, real, about this case? It ain't a person on YouTube that been more honest about the truth of this whole situation than Keep It G News. That's facts. That ain't even disputed. Ain't a person on YouTube. You still want to go against the grain. Even with entertainers, it's going to be other entertainers involved. The whole narrative is only done with his girlfriends. The whole narrative is what I've been saying since the beginning. Now it's my opinion. It's showing in court, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Now look, you are a reference court when it's beneficial. It's showing in court that what I've been saying since the beginning was facts, and everybody else was lying. Everybody else is lying. Ain't no my opinion. These are facts, my nigga. You know what I mean? No kids, no entertainers, none of that. Just girlfriends. I've been saying that shit for 6 months, 7 months, however long did he been booked. I've been telling everybody that shit while the whole internet was believing lies. What about Justin Bieber? What about Usher? I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Where y'all getting this shit from? None of this shit's none of this shit's documented. Even with the lawsuits. Look, see, you don't want to deal with the facts. Cause you know I've been saying that shit the whole time. Even with them first ass lawsuits. Ain't nobody getting paid, man. Hold up, let me finish playing her shit with y'all. So she interviewed this nigga. She interviewed this nigga and then interrogate his ass.
We also have extortion, Cassie's mother, the drug dealing too.
I think that the one thing for me that like if they're able to, I know they're she's from your part, but I would say that as long as they're able to prove the drug dealing part, then I feel like that they have like a stronger case in terms of leaning into that. But so far throughout the case, they've really been focused on trying to prove or using text messages to prove their case, which after a while feels like they're beating a dead horse because they've already made their points through those text messages, but they haven't necessarily shown any physical evidence outside of people saying what happened during that time.
Exactly. They haven't shown nothing, yo. It's just people talking. Yeah, Diddy did this. Diddy did that. Diddy did this. Ain't no proof. Only thing we know is Diddy put his hands on Cassie. That's the only thing we know for a fact. All that other shit can be disputed. Only thing they prove for a fact is that Diddy put his hands on Cassie. That's all they prove. Oh, and he paid sex workers. Yo, but I don't think people want that to become a federal crime that's being pursued on a large scale. Because a lot of people live like that. A lot of people live like that. Me and you might not live like that, but it's a lot of people that do. I don't think people want the feds to start pursuing that as a means to send people to prison. Like I always say, y'all, be careful with doors you open. The bitches don't close. And that's my main focus with this whole Diddy shit. Yo, I don't think people want them to open this door. Cause they gonna fit a lot of people through that motherfucker before it's all said and done. Before people realize, like, damn, yo, this shit might have been a mistake. This shit might have been a mistake. Now they grabbing everybody under this bullshit. That nigga ain't make a dollar. That nigga ain't make a dollar off this situation. He ain't make 10 million. There's motherfuckers that make 10 million doing shit. I thought those was the people that was criminals. That nigga spent 10 million. He did have to make a dollar. That's part of the RICO. Part of RICO is it gotta be some type of profit, some type of incentive. They saying that they telling y'all, oh, the incentive was sexual gratification. Like what? The benefit was sexual gratification? Like that's what we doing now? Not profit. Not profit. Sexual gratification. That's enough. Like, man, that's wild. I can't believe people co-signing that dumbass shit. I can't believe people co-signing that. That he was a porn director. That's all he was. He was a porn director, man. He was a producer, and he directed porn. He took his music producer talents to the porn industry, and he had his own little girls that he liked to watch get fucked. Cassie was one of them. 50 Baby Mama was another one. But they all benefited. They all benefited. It wasn't will. It wasn't through force. It wasn't through coercion. They all had options. They had choices. They continued to indulge because they thought it was going to get them somewhere. Once it got them nowhere, similar to the Tyler Perry situation that we talked about last night. Watch that live. If y'all ain't see that live, watch the live when we read Tyler Perry. It's the same situation. The guy was allowing Tyler Perry to sexually harass him because he thought he was going to get a movie out of it. Once he didn't get the movie out of it, now it's sexual harassment. Nah, bitch. Ain't no nigga, you ain't get sexually. You got sexually harassed, but you was involved. You wanted that shit. You asked for it. That man made it very clear in the beginning that he was pursuing you sexually. Nigga, you played the game, nigga. You lost. Now you want to come back. Now you want to come back and say you was sexually harassed. And nah, fuck out of here, nigga. You played. You knew what it was. You knew what it was. Just like just like a 50 baby mother knew what it was. You ain't no fucking victim. You say no. Just if you say no, you better, your dreams might not come true. But that's the risk you take. Nigga, stand on something. What the fuck happened to integrity, morals, principles? Stand on it. Fuck that shit. All these people sold their soul, man. This is what soul selling looks like. For the people that's interested. For the people that's interested in selling theirs. This is what it looks like, man. But you got a choice. You don't have to do it. You can say no. I want my soul intact. I'm not sacrificing my integrity for nothing. But that's the problem. We moving away from that. Ain't no people. We moving away from integrity, morals, and principles. Everybody's selling out for the bag. Well, this is what selling out and selling your soul looks like. The choice is yours. Ain't nobody forcing you to do nothing. All they gotta do, Barbara. But they didn't say no. They didn't say no until they realized that they wasn't going to get what they thought they was going to get. Cassie wanted to be Beyonce, Rihanna. If Cassie would have got the Beyonce, Rihanna stage, Cassie wouldn't even have filed no lawsuit. The 50 baby mother wanted to be Diddy girlfriend, like exclusively. If she'd have been exclusive, you wouldn't have heard nothing about none of this shit. She wouldn't be on that stand testifying. Like I said, the dude in Tyler Perry case, he wanted a movie, his own movie. He wanted to produce it. He wanted to star in it. If he'd have got that shit, he wouldn't have never said Tyler Perry did anything to him. But the thing about it, probably not, or they ain't going to all go down because they all testifying. Everybody that testified on Diddy was co-conspirators. Like I always say, they trying to pass them off as victims and witnesses, but they really co-conspirators. If Diddy was running the criminal enterprise, Cassie was his motherfucking top dog. She'd be the second in command, or at least third. They tell y'all Brendon Paul was a drug mule. He ain't what the fuck? It's nothing that he got caught with. It's nothing that we know that screams mule. You know what a drug mule is? Like, typically, the term drug mule is reserved for high-level traffickers. This man was selling an ounce, 2 ounces. That man wasn't buying no bricks and keys. We don't know nothing about none of that. Ain't none of that shit come out in court. That man probably was selling his personal use to Diddy. He probably was on drugs too. Exactly, and no lady. That's the narrative they trying to push. Ain't nobody have a choice because Diddy was holding finances over their head. Yo, people can't hold nothing over your head if you don't allow them. The fuck, like, that man, you can't. Yo, people only do what you allow. Can't nobody hold finances over my head if I don't allow that shit to happen. Like, are we taking zero accountability off of all the people and just blaming Diddy? Ain't none of these people been held accountable for none of their actions. They all got immunity for, well, not all, but at least 5 of them motherfuckers got immunity. Can't hold nothing over my head. You can't tell me, look, like the Tyler Perry nigga was telling the white boy, the white guy, that he was gonna kill his character off. That's how that was his way of gaining control. If motherfucker don't listen, I just kill their character off. Well, kill my character off then, my nigga. If I gotta sit back and be your motherfucking dream sex partner, then yo, kill my character off, bro, cause I ain't putting up with none of that shit. I'd rather die on screen than participate in some shit like that. But these motherfuckers participated. They participated. That's your fault. Is it right to do that to people? No, it's not. It's not right. It's fucked up to put people in that type of situation. But people do it. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. Quid pro quo ain't going nowhere. As long as people willing to sell their soul, like I say all the time, we talk about it. As long as people is willing to sell their soul, it's gonna be people willing to buy it, man. And like I said, who's wrong? Because you can't have one without the other. So who's wrong? Who's wrong? What about the people? What about the people that's not willing to sell their soul? And they losing opportunities to the soul, to the people that's willing to sell their soul. Are they victims? Shit, I think they'd probably be the biggest victim. The people that's willing to stand on morals and principles and not sell their soul for roles in movies, or not sell their soul to get deep into the game, the rap game, the sing, whatever game they playing. What about those people? They the victims, not the people selling it, and the people buying it. The people that stand firm and standing on principles, they the biggest victims in the whole situation. But nobody talks about them. They don't get no recognition. They don't get no recognition. Yo, if you willing to sell your soul, yo, you can't claim victim, yo. Fuck that. That's bogus. Can't claim no motherfucking victim. You willing to sell your motherfucking soul to the highest bidder. You want it in the game? Nah, I'm driving to work, y'all. My job far as a bitch. You wanted to get in the game. This is what the game looks like. You know what I mean? This is what the game look like. You wanted in, right? This is your way in. This is your way in. That was their way in, y'all. Let me go to Sean G page. Because that's another reason why I decided to make the live. Because the guy was talking about how the media lied. The guy was talking about how the media lied.
Now you can dash groceries, alcohol, and even pet supplies.
Feeling like people, yeah, I feel IONS conversations with yours truly, Jay.
How you feel about Puffy today?
Well, 5 months ago, when I heard about the RICO, I was like, okay, this is serious. The S trafficking and the transporting for the P word, y'all know what I mean? That stuff, I kind of was like, hey, you know what? Maybe this is going on. You're hearing a lot of stuff on the internet. You're hearing a lot of stuff on television and on social media about these freak-off parties with a bunch of celebrities and maybe people are underage. And then you got that the attorney Busby that was, had 100 cases, and that kind of boosted everything.
I told y'all from the beginning, Tony Busby was bogus. From the beginning. Once I found out that Busby filed all these lawsuits, or not filed them, but announced all these lawsuits but didn't file them, it took Law and Crime Network and mainstream media months to release that information. They let that narrative run for so fucking long before they came clean and said, well, you know, he actually didn't file all the lawsuits. He might have filed like 20. We've been saying that shit since the beginning. But that's what I mean by, if you let a lie linger long enough, it becomes the truth. That's what the media did in this situation. They let the lie linger. Let people eat it up. People start believing it. Then they came back months later and told the truth. And the truth was, Tony Busby was an extortionist. Tony Busby ain't credible. He files frivolous lawsuits. He sent people demand letters saying that, yo, we gonna release this shit to the world, and people settle because if they got the money, they just don't want to go through the motherfucking the media firestorm. They rather not deal with it. Jay-Z said he lost $10 million because of that fucked up ass, weak ass lawsuit that he put out on him. I told y'all none of them people getting paid. None of them people getting paid. And they ain't. Still. A lot of them lawsuits got dropped.
So you have a real different perspective before you get into the courtroom and see what the evidence that is presented is, which is totally different than what we saw then. So right now I feel a lot different in the sense that I'm actually feeling fooled, and I'm feeling like people, I feel fooled, and I feel like people
Fooled by who, Jay?
Fooled by the media, by the mainstream media that try to plant things in our head. I feel fooled. Now, I'm not saying that stuff didn't happen behind the scenes. What I'm saying is that stuff is not playing out in court. They had this big, I'm from Trinidad.
Yo, it wasn't never going to play out in court. It wasn't never going to play out in court. Because the court case wasn't never with like, yo, for the longest time, people was confusing. This another thing went on for months. People was confusing the court case and the lawsuits. Like, people was bunching all them together and making it one. And I was like, yo, they not the same. Yo, like, for months, they made Diddy parties look like the issue. And the reason they did that is because we know everybody go to Diddy parties. So that's how they created this narrative that was fake. It was false. It wasn't never Diddy parties. It was always Diddy freak-offs, who he didn't do with everybody.
We said Poppy Show. They have a big Poppy Show about all these crazy things that are going to happen and it's going to be released. Do you know that not one of those S tapes that are playing in the court in the last few weeks, including today, are from Puffy's devices, from his home?
What I say? Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all that? Yo, they didn't find no sex tapes. Cassie had the sex tapes. They're like, oh, but what about the tapes they got in Diddy house? Like, yo, we don't have, it's no evidence that they got any tapes from Diddy house. There's no evidence. Cassie had the tapes. Cassie tried to extort Diddy. But they telling y'all it was the other way around. They telling y'all Diddy used sex tapes to blackmail these people. They told y'all that Cassie was scared to death. They told y'all that Diddy used to show Cassie tapes in order to get Cassie to conform. But you find out that Cassie had the tapes. 8 of them or 9 of them. It was anywhere from 7 to 9 tapes. She sent the tapes to the feds. She gave them to them. That's the tapes that they're using. Why was Cassie holding tapes? Nobody ain't asked that question yet. Mainstream media. Why was Cassie holding tapes? If these tapes made her feel so disgusted and demeaning and disrespected, why the fuck would you hold on to them? You would think you would burn something like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's something you would burn. The reason she held on to him because it was leverage, not evidence. She held on those tapes because it was leverage to hold over top of Diddy.
Home, nothing like that. They're all from Cassie. This is all different. This is all different than what we were sold to by the media, by the mainstream media. And this is how they twist our minds all the time. And I feel stupid. I feel stupid for kind of going that way a little bit. You know, the algorithm will do that to you.
A lot of people probably feel stupid, but salute to yo for admitting it. That's one of the hardest things to do, is admit you was lied to. That's why some of these people still standing firm with this. Yo, he did this, he did that, because they was lied to. They believed the story, they believed the myth that mainstream media force fed people. And it's hard, once you went so far left, it's hard to get back right. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, fuck it, I'm going to die on this mountain. I'm going to die on this hill. I've been wrong. I might as well see it all the way through.
Jay, what about Brianna Bogelin in the 17th floor balcony incident?
Well, that incident, either it didn't happen or was fabricated. They got the location wrong. They got who was there wrong. They got how he lifted her over the balcony wrong. They got whether Cassie saw it or not wrong. If you go back and look at the transcripts, Cassie actually said originally that she saw it, but then they confronted her with a text message that.
I think, hey, Barbara, it's obvious what's going on, Barbara. It's obvious what's going on, Barbara. No, he's not being framed, but he's being hit with trumped up charges. This ain't about sex trafficking, yo. This is about Diddy beef with Diageo, man. This what this whole thing was about. Y'all, this was a 6-month investigation. Since when do the feds do 6-month investigations? This is about Diddy crossing the line. That's what this is about, man. This ain't about no motherfucking sex trafficking. It ain't never been about that. Cassie got her money. Cassie ain't want Diddy in prison. Cassie wanted to be paid. Cassie got compensated. All these people that's testifying on Diddy got lawsuits out against them. I'm not saying he was framed, but I'm definitely saying this was a motherfucking deliberate attempt to slander the man. That's what this is a slander campaign, man. It's a slander campaign. Yeah, that's what they did, y'all. Y'all gotta realize, yo, they worth $51 billion, man. The company worth $51 billion. And these charges came down right after he settled. Right after he settled. And y'all know he sued them for racial discrimination. Yo, that can kill a company. And when you figure out that, yo, they didn't even want Diddy there to begin with. It's messages of people that was working in Diageo that never liked the fact that Diddy was even getting money with them. Then he turned around and sues them for racial discrimination that could be proven facts. What's up, man? How you feel?
Oh, it's a slow day.
For real, they just sent me one. You do batteries though, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I ain't even look at it yet. We're gonna go take care of it now.
Hopefully tow stays moving.
Yeah, hopefully. I hate when it's sitting.
Yep.
Yeah, the case is bogus, man. It ain't about sex. That's why it's so over the place. That's why the narrative was, the goal was, all we gotta do is kill him in the media. We kill him in the media. We ain't really got no case in court. But if we kill him in the media, we ain't gotta have a case in court. You know what I mean? If we kill him in the media, we get some of our bloggers that work for us to push this narrative, then yo, by the time he get to court, he gonna be guilty. But it's just that I don't think they factored in, though, that it's a lot of people got voices. Yeah, y'all might got the biggest voices, but the motherfuckers that got 100,000 here, 100,000 subscribers there, 25 here, 50 there, their voices matter too. and we got it's enough it's enough of us out here to get the narrative back right. So right now the beef is over the narrative, and this ain't got nothing to do with Diddy. This just is in general. This is in general. It's a war going on between the people and mainstream media about controlling the narrative. This been going on for a while. I don't know if people noticed that or not. Mainstream media is trying to control the narrative. People like me and others is trying to control it as well. Because at this point in our life, y'all, especially when it comes down to Black America, mainstream media been lying about Black America for fucking decades. And now we got a chance to have our own voices. But you got so many people selling out. I mean, you got to fight against the sellouts, and you got to fight against the mainstream media that people know. So you're fighting against the controlled opposition that look like they independent, and you fighting against mainstream media. So that's what's really going on. This Diddy case just an attempt to just slander, yo. He went against the grain. He went against the grain. You know how these people look at it? I dare you come at us and say we did this and did that after we done got you paid. And the crazy thing about it, is Diddy. Yeah, the crazy thing about it is, Diddy wasn't wrong in what he said about the people. They really did him dirty. They really did him dirty, yo. And that man turned Ciroc into a $1 billion corporation. I mean, $1 billion liquor. And the only thing he wanted was to get his own brand, and for them to help him. And they fucked him over. So they fucked him over. And that's the thing. I'll be saying they want you to just accept disrespect. You know what I mean? Accept disrespect. But everybody not willing to accept disrespect. You shouldn't even have to accept disrespect. To be honest. Shouldn't have to. Hey, Sean, what you talking about? No, I don't think you must talk to somebody in the comments. Cause that goes in on everybody. I know what it is. That's why I don't understand why people pushing this line on Diddy. Like people vouching for the federal government, knowing the federal government ain't never had black people interests in mind. Mainstream media never gave a fuck about black people. Ever. It was always propaganda. That's how they got the world hating us. They picked the 20%. They picked up the 20% that's not doing right and made them the face of the community. Made them the face of the community. The 20% ain't the face of no community except the black community. That's why I was telling the guy the other day. I said, yo, what if I made the trailer park community the face of white people? Motherfuckers wouldn't like that. If I made the trailer park community the face of white people, they'd be looked at totally different than what they looked at today. I'm just saying, y'all, right now it's a beef. Right now it's a beef on the narrative. It's been a beef on the narrative, but I think it's intensifying. They bringing these people on and they parading them as me or some of these other independent people, but they got whole teams behind them. They working for corporations. They backed by whoever. You understand what I'm saying? And their sole purpose is the mainstream media. Pay attention to the people that never deviate from mainstream media. If they saying the same thing that Nancy Grace is saying, if they saying the same thing that CNN is saying, if they saying the same thing that Fox News is saying, don't trust them. I'm telling you. That mean they ain't got their own mind. That mean they control. Because how the fuck you just agree? You like, how do you, so you just never go against the grain? Ever. Like, who never goes against the grain? Somebody that's compromised. Somebody that's compromised. Now you think you gotta have your own opinion sometimes.
Head west on Hillville Lane toward US 19 South, then turn left onto US 19 South.
Independent ones, man. You definitely gotta question everything. Independent ones, man. Pay attention to the numbers. Independent ones. But it's just hard to figure out who I'm independent. It's a lot of people independent. I mean, I can't go through the list right now. Just pay attention to the ones that never deviate from mainstream media. If they saying the same thing mainstream media is saying, question them. Question them. The ones that just pop up out of nowhere and their page go from here to here in a year. You know what I mean? Watch them motherfuckers. YouTube don't let you do that. I've been on YouTube for 3-4 years. They don't let you go from here to here in a year. Nope. They gonna play with your channel. They gonna shadow ban you. They gonna demonetize you. They gonna do all of that. I knew she was from the fucking islands. When she do that, she ain't had to take no ancestry DNA to say she was from the islands. The fuck? She knew she was from the goddamn islands from the beginning. Because that matters. That's why she's able to do the things she do. That's why she's able to come after the black community that way, because she's not a part of the fucking American black community. That's why it matters. Truth be told. I was wondering how do you go so far left with these takes against black men and black people in general? Now I know why. She's from the fucking islands. Yeah, the islands part is a purge, but then they built East African heritage. Man, she ain't from my purge. She was born in the islands. That's why ain't no information on her. She probably a first generation American. Ain't no information on them. You gotta pay. It's always like that. Appreciate it. Man, suit the Dallas, man. They always give us these people that's not Americans, but that's what their everything they talk about is black American culture. They only talk about black Americans, but they're not Americans. Why would they do that? It's a lot of us talking. Why they real strategic about the people that they elevate. Why they don't elevate black Americans? Like they make Obama the president. Oh, he's the first black president. Man, no, the fuck he wasn't. The fuck we ain't had a black president yet. We have yet to have a black FBA, Foundation Black American president. When we have one of them, then we can fucking talk. They'll never lie with the hand. They'll never lie with the hand. I'm just saying, man, pay attention to what they did. That's the game plan. You know what I mean? It's symbolism. It's imagery. We're going to give you people that think. We're going to give y'all people that look like y'all, but they ain't really y'all for real. I mean, we still ain't fucking with y'all. You know, but we'll give you some people, though. We'll give you Kai Sinat. You know, we'll give you DJ Academics. You know, we'll give you these people that look like y'all, but they ain't. They don't share the same history. They don't share the same struggle. They don't share the same heritage. Nothing is the same. But we support them blindly because we don't know no motherfucking better. Hey, Christina, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You need to listen. If you think anything I'm saying is wrong, you need to listen and shut up because you slow. But I'm ready to go back to work. I got this call on me. Y'all appreciate everybody that tapped to make sure y'all subscribe. We're gonna try to get it live in a little later. If not, we're gonna be live at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time when I get off work. But depending on how the day go, we probably gonna try to get another live in. Yeah, but that shit matters though, man. Niggas, what it is. Where you from matters, man. Everybody got different motives, different agendas, different backgrounds. You know, stand on different codes. And her being from the islands says a lot to me about why she does what she do and how she does what she do, and is able to sleep comfortably at night because she's not us. She just look like it. You understand? But let me know how y'all feel about us in the comments. Love it, keep it, and I'm out.